I told him anybody can hit 2 homers in a playoff game, only the real ones hit 3, and he did it. He did. Done it, but I haven't punched 10 or 11 on the mound.
Probably the greatest postseason performance of all time, and there's been a lot of postseason games, and I've just never seen, no one's ever seen something like this. So there's a reason why he's the greatest player on the planet.
You can't document the greatness in a graphic. Like that doesn't, you know what I mean? But this is to sum it up. I think.
What were his teammates saying, like, you were in that dugout or close to their dugout? What were they doing as it's unfolding?
You're looking at super duper stars, Freddie Freeman, Mookie Betts. Their mouths are agape.
Yeah. They're both first ballot Hall of Famers.
Think about that.
And they're saying to themselves,
when he hit that one on top of the pavilion, I let out an audible bad word as I was watching.
And he was in a slump. He was losing the plate. Yep. We had talked about the struggles, and he went out to batting practice for the first time at Dodger Stadium in a long time, maybe second time all year. And then that's what happens? It doesn't even make sense.
No. It's like one of those stop what you're doing, right?
Yeah.
You'll remember where you were forever.
And we've been saying he's like the best kid in your town, where he's the best player on the Little League field, in the rec basketball court, on the football field, the lacrosse. It's whatever. It's unbelievable.
When I first started working here in 2014, you know how, Robert, you always say, like, you got to go back to Gen Pop?
Yeah.
Well, I was original Gen Pop.
Okay.
14. So I remember with myself and Paul Severino, I tell a story all the time. We had to come in at 3 a.m. It was like a barnstorming tour of MLB players playing over in Japan.
That's real Gen Pop.
It was the first time I truly laid eyes on Shohei Ohtani. And I've told this story. It was like, I was texting GMs the next morning, like, have you ever heard of this guy? Who is he? How old is he? And they were like, we've been on him since he was 6. So I'm obviously not, I don't want to say I'm not surprised. This is a joke, what we're witnessing. But sitting there, after the second one, I texted Lauren and I was like,
you're witnessing history.
Yeah, I said, you're witnessing history. I want you to totally understand what's happening here, because no one else can do this. I made my son come and watch. I was like, everyone sit down and just enjoy. Because the great players in the big leagues, this is what they were like in Little League.
Right.
But I don't think even the great players were doing this in Little League, punching 10 and hitting 3 homers. So I just want to go chronologically through it. Obviously he was struggling. He made some obviously wholesale changes, front hip, keeping his rear end up under him. But we're going to start out from jump. Jackson Churio gets taken to task. Christian Yelich. These are 100-mile-an-hour pitches. The stuff plus we talked about, 99 away, breaking ball. Once he gets him to swing at that, let me see if I can take him further outside. Run that pitch back for me real quick. The sharpness of this ball. Watch, talk about a left-hand turn. Savage's ball goes the other way. That's a true, sweeper in today's game. So I'll take you through chronologically, right? Punches the side in the first. And then comes up, gets a 3-2 breaking ball and destroys it. So, if the game ended right there, he's had an amazing game. He just struck out the side and hit a bomb. It's over.
That's it for me, fellas.
Guys, run that back for me real quick, because talk about the moves. Go ahead. Just pause it. Now slow click it from that point. Right there. Pause it. We talk about you hear your coaches or guys talk about being disconnected, top half, bottom half being disconnected. I like to think about it, is my rear end up under me at the point of contact, or is it not? And that's what Shohei Ohtani, we were talking about it the other day when we did the skybox. At the point of contact, it was almost like his tush was exposed, right? Look at it. Up under him. This is your power down here. That thing's up under him, hitting behind a baseball. And then he's got crazy genetics. So he's hitting the ball farther than everybody. But it was hot heater, top of the zone, 99 to 100. Obviously, William Contreras, he was going to spin him to death all night. And then he brings up Jake Bauers right here. And then he decides, I'm I'm tired of just throwing 100-mile-an-hour fastballs and breaking balls. Let me start to incorporate the split that Eric Nays said he was starting to bring back. Run that pitch back for me. This almost hollowed out Jake Barrow's ribs. 99 a foot in. So now splitty away. He's got to swing at it. So pause that for me and bring up his split numbers because it's the best pitch in the game. Shohei Ohtani split. Career splitter stats. Guys are 34 for 340. Opponent batting average of 100. Opponent slug of 150. Giving up 3 bombs on his entire career.
Is that good?
I mean, if you like 100 miles an hour, wipe out breaking stuff, and the best splitter
Seems
in the
good.
game.
And he hadn't pitched in 2 weeks. And we were asking if that's too long. And Dave Roberts said, no, he loves rest.
Can we just get to, can we get to what we all came for, though?
Yeah, show that one.
And I preface this. Chad Patrick, you pitched your tush off.
He pitched very well in this series.
Pitched a dominant baseball. He gave up 1 hit. It just happened to go 6 miles. This thing was killed. And it's the 3-1. That cutter he tries to backdoor that just creeps. He just pulls it a little bit and it's game over right into his barrel. And I'm sitting there going, how many people have gone up there? Willie Stargell and Kyle Schwarber. Look at Freddie Free. Again, rear end up under him at the point of contact. Everything's back connected. Kind of a testament. I love the fact that he went outside and wanted to hit outside and get it right. But you're sitting there going, he's doing things no one else in the game can do. He's making the stars just, they're aghast. And then he went to the splitty the remainder of the game and was punching tickets. This is wipeout stuff. Isaac Collins right there. Whatever he wanted to do, 6 innings, 10 punch outs, and this one, people don't 99, this pitch that's not that bad a pitch. Run that back for me. And to hit it out opposite field, 99 inside. And this is not a wall scraper opposite field. We're talking 10, 15 rows deep. It is such a joy to watch him go about it. And you see right here, 3+ homers in a game where players were the starting pitcher. You got Shohei Ohtani, you got old Jim Tobin back from 1942, and then our boy Guy Hecker, rest in peace, 1886. Shohei, you gave me a family moment the other night with my son. I won't let it happen in March.
Yeah. Let's hope he doesn't homer. You're hoping he doesn't homer.
Who is that?
Yeah. Now I'm glad you bring up
old Guy Hecker.
Yeah, this is Guy Hecker. Now this is true. After his playing career, he operated a grocery store. And fun fact, that grocery store became Stop and Shop.
Get out of here.
You're welcome. I'm just kidding about the Stop.
Oh my gosh.
I was going to say, I just ran into a couple aliens at Stop and Shop last week.
Good stuff. Just an unbelievable performance.
Ryan Kenny back with you here on MLB Now. There's still a buzz in the air. The Dodgers in the World Series. They've won 9 of 10 in the postseason, steamrolling the Brewers in 4 straight. The headline, of course, a one-of-a-kind ball game from Shohei Ohtani, begging the question, was that the greatest postseason game in the history of baseball? Let's do some more digging in, and let's take you back, way back. Try to put this in perspective. 1918. The World Series is played early because of the Spanish flu and the Great War. Babe Ruth, age 23 season, already a 2-time World Series champion, smacks a 4th inning triple at Fenway Park to drive in 2 for the Red Sox, take a 2-0 lead on the Cubs in Game 4. We'll just go to Babe's stats since you're really not seeing a highlight of that game. It should be clear. It's, file footage case. Ruth also pitching though, leaves in the 9th inning with a 3-2 lead, gets relieved by Bullet Joe Bush, who gets a bunt ground out. See, bunting didn't work back then either. And a double play. Red Sox took a 3-1 lead, 3 games to 1 lead. They'd win the World Series over the Cubs 4 games to 2. So Babe Ruth goes 8 innings, 7 hits, 2 runs. He's got 6 walks, no strikeouts. How about that? Drives in 2, the only 2 RBIs of the day for Boston. I'm going back this far to get the next big thing, right? Possibly the best thing. The Bambino himself, before he became a full-time hitter, when he was still a gritty, gutty, clutch, left-handed pitcher. Even this doesn't quite match up to Ohtani. So let's move on now. Some amazing things about the Ohtani game, aka maybe the greatest playoff performance in history. 1, the first inning alone was remarkable. Opens up with a walk to Bryce Terang. Then he goes through Jackson Chourio, Christian Yelich, and William Contreras, striking out all 3. Those are 3 all-stars. No matter what they look like in this series, those are 3, as we call them in the business, real guys. Then, leading off the bottom of the first, just minutes later, he hits a home run and off a left-hander. There it goes. And the guys who had been victimizing him in the last 2 rounds, lefties, nope, not this time. That was the biggest win probability play of the ballgame. 4th inning, this off Chad Patrick. Only Willie Stargell, Kyle Schwarber, and now Ohtani have hit one over the pavilion in right field. Look at that. That one officially 469 feet. That's dubious since it left the stadium and hit a tram in the parking lot. That last part I made up. All right. Then the 3rd homer off Trevor McGill, who is also a real guy. Look at his numbers. He was the Brewers closer before he got hurt. 47 innings, a 2.49 ERA, 60 strikeouts, 17 walks. That's a real guy. Career playoff numbers to that point, 6 1/3 innings case, no runs allowed. 10 strikeouts, 1 walk. That's the guy Ohtani got to in the 7th. And he had just come out of the game as a pitcher. It's normal to expect a drop-off in adrenaline after coming out of the game as a pitcher. Instead, it's a blast left center. So, Ohtani in this ballgame goes 3 for 3 with 3 home runs and a walk, 6 shutout innings, 10 strikeouts, 3 walks, 2 hits. So, there it is. Doesn't get much better than that, right? The question is this the best postseason performance in a single game ever? Forgive me for saying, maybe. Come on, Case. He's groaning over. No, kill his mic. I don't want to hear it. There's that Ruth performance, 8 innings pitching, 2 RBI triple Case in a 3-2 win. And let's get a little more modern. Remember, pitchers used to hit 1967 World Series. This is game 7. Bob Gibson throws a complete game against the Red Sox and hits a home run. Cardinals win game 7, 7-2. Gibson, like Ohtani, 10 strikeouts, 3 walks. They didn't have as many strikeouts back in the day, by the way. This is also Gibson's 3rd win in the World Series. He gave up 3 runs in 3 complete games, so that might win. Oral Hershiser, game 2 of the 1988 World Series, throws a shutout, goes 3 for 3 with 2 doubles. Drove in a run. Hershiser, he beat the A's almost by himself. This is against a big-time Oakland A's offense. And by the way, this is after Hershiser was spectacular beating the Mets in the league championship series. Then there's this. He didn't do much hitting. He went 0 for 2 with a sacrifice, which led to a Hank Bauer RBI, but he kind of threw a perfect game. Don Larson has to be on the short list. 27 up, 27 down. No base runners, no chance of scoring for 9 innings. And it was a 2-2 World Series at the time, a year after the Dodgers had broken through and won the 1955 World Series. Don Larson, perfect game. 5 Hall of Famers in that Dodgers lineup, by the way. So Don Larson's feat is still in the mix. So we ask you, was Shohei Ohtani's performance the best ever in a playoff game? Keep in mind, Gibson, Larson, Hershiser. Do you want to go Reggie Jackson's 3 home run game, David Freese 2011? I'm keeping it to hitting pitchers, but let us know what you think and let us know why. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Sharp guy. You see Bob Gibson and now you're not talking so tough, right? You're wondering. Yeah. Maybe we're wondering.
No, I got another game I was thinking of. I think that outside of this one, the greatest game was the complete game. Tim McGarvey threw 15 punch-outs, 4 home runs, and 12-year-old travel all-stars. That's what I think. That's what I thought of. When I saw this game, that's what I thought. Where can I go back to a game that's like what Ohtani did?
Right.
3 home runs, 6 innings pitched, 10 Ks. By the way, BK, I'm a huge fan of your show. You know I'm watching. When I'm at home in Pittsburgh, I'm watching the show. Do you still want Ohtani to be an opener?
Oh, now you're going there?
Yeah, I'm actually going there because I'm saying, are you nuts?
You're risking, sure. If you're going to get this performance all the time, and maybe they're just right, but you're taking a risk that hasn't worked off prior to this because he's been hurt for a full year, 3 different times. It's worked out this year, so terrific.
But I do think because we're watching him be one of the greatest players of all time and probably the greatest performance of all time is because he's that starter, because he can go 6 innings and he's only getting stronger. I can't wait to even see what's going to happen next year. But you got to be kidding me, man. To do what he did It's tough enough to be a hitter, but 3 home runs, like you said, against guys, real guys.
Yeah.
Hitting one over the roof, which I've never seen before. And I played out there.
I didn't see Willie Stargell.
I was taken back. And like I said, where I went to was back to 12-year-old travel all-star. I think that's how incredible this game was.
I'll say this. Where were the Dodgers smart? Because I'm saying limit his innings. What did the Dodgers do? They limited his innings. They started him, was it June or July? I forget exactly. When did they start?
It was July.
It was July. They slow played him, and that was smart, knowing, hey, he could start earlier in the season. Let's backload it, which was smart. Now, this happened to work out. All right, let's start there, though, before he pot-shotted me. But I was ready. I know it's coming with you.
You came back with you.
I keep you at a distance. Right. Establish a jab right away. Greatest postseason performance?
I mean, the Larson perfect game stands on its own for what he did, but I will say this is the greatest all-around postseason performance. I'll go one step further, and this is going to sound like recency bias. It's going to sound like whatever happens today is the greatest thing ever.
Right.
I think it might be the greatest individual performance by an athlete in a team sport ever. The only one, we were talking about this weekend, the only one that I can even put up with it is Will Chamberlain's 100-point game. And Will Chamberlain took 63 shots that night, which is more than anybody's ever taken in an NBA game in the history of the NBA. So it's not like Ohtani said, all right, give me 15 at-bats and I'll get those 3 home runs. He played under the normal rules. He had 3 home runs. He struck out 10, 6 shutout innings in a playoff game. It wasn't Game 7. Right? It wasn't the World Series. So if you want to ding him a little bit for the fact that Gibson did it in Game 7, okay, I'm not going to argue with that.
Right.
But I think what he did, just the accomplishment of the 3 home runs, the 6 shutout innings, the 10 strikeouts, against the team, by the way, that had the best record in baseball this year. So he didn't do this on a Tuesday night against the Rockies, right?
It's a league championship series.
This is a league championship series game.
I'm not disparaging that. I'm pot shotting in other ways. I'm being fair.
You actually got me on the Gibson game. The Gibson game rattled me a little bit.
You gotta think
It rattled me just a little.
And Game 7 of the World Series.
I like
that's
it bothered you. You're like, and now I'm going to talk, nonsense on Bob Gibson. I don't want to do that.
I had the gun loaded. I had that all lined up. And when you said that, I go, oh. That's a good one.
Yeah, put it away. All right, so let's think about what we're saying. We're thinking Shohei Ohtani just did something where we have to bring up Babe Ruth, Bob Gibson, Oral Hershiser, right? Only the greatest, and Don Larson, the greatest performances ever. Ryan Dempster was texting me out of nowhere. Ryan Dempster. And so, he's like, is this the greatest in any sport? I had to think back. Well, maybe you hear stories about Marion Motley when there was two-way football and he was a running back and I think a defensive back. You'd have to go back to two-way football. Otherwise, you can't compare this to other things.
Yeah. No, it's incredible. Like you were saying about, how do you compare it? And it's tough too.
And to give credit in an era of specialization where everything is going the other way, and he's like, no, I can broadly do these things. Like out of 1940s football is phenomenal.
And when you talk about Gibson though too, he did have the home run. I had all these, to have a 3 home run game. I never had one of them. I'm just saying that there's a lot of people that have played Major League Baseball that were just hitters, never had a 3 home run game.
But also Ohtani we're used to because he is a great hitter during the regular season. By the way, Bob Gibson may have been able to do that. Bob Gibson played on the Harlem Globetrotters, just before he went to play professional baseball. I'm not betting against Bob Gibson being able to hit in the major leagues either.
By the way, that's why the Brewers and Phillies intentionally walked Ohtani when they did it.
Another shot. Nice, Marky.
I'm just going to let that go because you got to let them, win a round now and then.